Good afternoon, everyone. It's Wednesday today. I believe it's about 1 o'clock over here my time. I'm currently just pacing around the room, but there are some things I want to talk about concerning future stars in the league. Because over these last couple of years, there's been a lot of great draft pools in the lottery, even outside of it. A lot of people that come in and you're like, man, that guy's a bucket. That guy's crazy on defense, or how does he jump that high, et cetera, et cetera. And one of the players I wanted to speak on specifically is Hot Topic Anthony Edwards. He had a crazy offseason with the whole USA stint as he was being very productive there. And people were thinking that this year's going to be his breakout year, coming off of a first round exit, when their team wasn't really where it needed to be as far as getting the chemistry right because of injuries and stuff. But this year they're looking different, and Ant's looking different, Ant-Man's looking different. Didn't check his stats, didn't check any of the averages, don't care for all that. Do I watch games here and there when I can? With that second job, it's been hard to watch as much as I did last year and as much as I would like to. But I believe it was last night, if I'm not mistaken, last night or the night before, Minnesota had a overtime game against Boston, and I've been seeing the clips, I've been seeing the noise from that, and this seemed like the statement game. Like everyone has that game in their rookie season or halfway through their rookie season where they have that one performance, one or two performances or a stretch of performances where you're like, okay, I can see the hype around this guy. Um, I'm still pretty young, so I'm still pretty new when it comes to tenure as far as watching basketball games go. I kind of got into it around 2015, like 16, like I guess a tad bit more serious, like actually try to understand the game for itself. And I think around those times it was like Cat Wiggins, Booker coming into the league and stuff. And Booker was one of those guys. Booker was that guy that I saw and I was like, okay, this guy's gonna be a star. But now I'm starting to see that again in other players. I started in Shea, Gilgeous Alexander, and SGA. But that was more of an obvious one. I guess Ant Man was kind of an obvious one too. But the thing with him, oh, he's a different animal. I feel like there's a lot of trash talkers in the league more than what we know because of course we don't get to hear what they say at a moment's notice, or not everyone has a mic on, or not everyone's mic'd up, or however it works. But this man Ant has that tenacity. I heard someone on Twitter give him a KG comparison for what the Timberwolves needed, and I feel that because I feel after drafting Cat at number one, and then Dragon drafted Wiggins number one, what Ant has that those two guys didn't have. I'm not saying they don't have it now, and I'm not trying to belittle them saying you guys are any lesser than, but what I can see blatantly that Ant has that those two guys didn't have was the drive. They had all the talent, but well, no drive. All the office, all the how can I say it, like physically, like the athleticism. They were complete athletes, great basketball players, but they just didn't have that drive to win or to get it on the other end. The hustle, that extra energy, that extra mile, what makes a player into a leader, and that's what Ant's been showing, especially in that last game with the whole back and forth in that overtime. And and I'm saying this because this is against this is his matchup with Tatum, and Tatum is what someone that's been talked about in MVP talks for the last at least two. I'll go on a stretch and say three. Like I said, I don't get to watch too often, but I know for the last two seasons for sure, I've been hearing people around me say, "Yeah, Tatum could be MVP," or he was doing good in the beginning and then slowed down in the second half of the season. But again, Tatum is another one of those players this year that's also in MVP talks again. So for Ant to do this against the MVP caliber player early into the season, coming off of what he just had in the offseason, it's like, dang, this man really has it. Plus, keep in mind that he already has his extension. Coming off of his first All Star season last year, This man already has his contract extension. He's already gotten his money. Most of the time, we see young stars come up, they do good, they get that extension, then they either start stinking it up, or it doesn't seem like they put as much effort, or they're just, one of those happy to be there players. Like how people are calling Jordan Poole right now. Anthony Edwards is not looking like a Jordan Poole right now, just out there chucking up shots for fun. This man is here to play. This man is here to win. So that's another thing to think about when you're looking over the caliber of his play this season. That's a great thing for a franchise, for fans to be able to see in a player and their young player and someone that they used the number one pick on in the draft. It's good to be able to see your player progress season in, season out, to see them actually put the effort into improving their game instead of them just coming out there and just being, okay, this is another guy that's, like I said, just happy to be here, just playing ball, just be hooping, like you just hooping, hooping, hooping. I remember when Ant first came into the league and people had that skepticism about him because he liked basketball and football. He was good at both, and he basically, I think it was something. It was a narrative around him just choosing one over the other because why not go number one if you can? But since then, even since back then, I always knew, me personally, I always figured that he's gonna put his 100%. What he was saying wasn't more like he's just playing basketball to be playing basketball, like how people are saying Jokic is right now, just like playing lazy, not really taking it serious. So he doesn't really want to be there. This is just his 9 to 5. Like, no, it's not like that at all. Even on Jokic's case, it's not like that at all. I'm pretty sure he has some passion for the game, just because he doesn't show it to everyone else. Not that he has to, first of all, but just because he doesn't show it to everyone else. Does people like to make their own bullshit about players and how they're thinking and how their lives are. You got to get out of their own heads. But I see that uh, Ant-Man and the Timberwolves play tonight at what it says 8 against the Pelicans. That kind of sucks. I'm not going to even be able to watch it. I got Bible study tonight, so I'll be there. But I am going to, again, look at the recaps and stuff. I'm off for the next couple of nights, I think, tomorrow. So we'll see what games we have coming up on there. Maybe I'll be able to watch the replay or something on a VOD or something, or I'll just go on Twitter, look at to see if Steve Jones put up his breakdown of the game. I love when he does that. Really helps me out. I'm not gonna lie. I actually sometimes like watching those better than the game, just seeing specific moments of the game where he breaks it down. It's really neat. If you don't know who he is, you should check him out on Twitter. But that's about it for me today. I just want to give some pointers of how I felt about Anthony Edwards. I felt like I had to get it out.